This is a Jmix exclusive.
Is there any news on the Wrights?
No, nothing new. I checked the stuff. It's been quiet as a church mouse, but of course, let's talk about the Fox interview. I mean, when Reggie Wright sat there and they said, "Did you do it?" And he says, "I screwed up." There you're looking at a guy who's comfortable that he's made a deal with the authorities, because basically that's an admission of guilt on national television. And bear the question, what did I screw up on? But he screwed up, and he admitted he did it. So in terms of the interview, to me, that's a guy who's pretty comfortable with the deal he's made with the cops. Now, I do know that there have been a truckload more arrests that have come down from the FBI regarding the Mexican cartels and all that all over the United States, and it's been huge. And it just made the Department of Justice website. Maybe, Jesse, I'll shoot you a copy of that. Maybe we can put it up at some point. But, that may very well be the result of a lot of good snitching going on, dry snitching going on.
Well, speaking of dry snitching, Ice-T made his infamous dry snitching comment concerning Reggie Wright Jr. But you had brought something to my attention, which was someone was out and out just snitching. Do you want to fill people in on what you thought the biggest snitch of the show was?
Well, I thought the biggest snitch of the show was Suge Knight saying that Reggie Wright knew David Mack and Rafael Perez, that he knew both of them. Basically, Suge Knight just handed the cops his testimony regarding Reggie Wright's involvement with the killing of Biggie Smalls. If Mack and Perez were to be considered to be there and witnesses have put him there, that Reggie Wright knew both of them. So I think that was the biggest snitch of the show. And by the way, Taker Kane fan 108, welcome to the show, new viewer. He says Kading was writing for Pac. He didn't want to be part of that slander bullshit Ice-T and Soledad did for Fox. Well, okay, but you forget one thing. They were saying Orlando Anderson killed Tupac, and Greg Kading, that's been his whole theory all along. So I don't understand how you could say somebody is writing for Pac not doing a show. I'm not really even sure where that comes from.
And Greg Kading would have no idea the show's direction when asked for the interview. Because even after all the interviews are conducted, there's still a process called editing. And the way that they edited the Reggie Wright interview, showing the camera, showing the break, showing him sweating, that's an intentional edit. They edit it that way. But the point that I'm making is Greg Kading would have no idea the direction that the show would be on Tupac, that what Ice-T would have to say, until way after his interview. In my opinion, he ducked that interview because of the Reggie Wright indictment, the fact that Reggie Wright was on there and may not want to have associated with Reggie Wright, or to dodge any tough questions regarding Reggie Wright.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. Yeah, you do a show. I've done millions of these shows. You don't know how it's going to end until it ends. They do an interview with you, and speaking of Daz will be the first one to tell you can do an interview. You're not even guaranteed to be on the show. So the fact that Greg Kading would know anything about it, where he would get out of it the 11th hour, he had absolutely no idea what they were doing. So there you go. But let's see. Gino says RJ Suge didn't snitch. He just shot the stuff back in Reggie's lap. Somebody pulled Suge's coattail. Well, yeah, I mean, there's different ways of looking at it, but the bottom line, it says that Suge Knight said that Reggie Wright knew both Mack and Perez when he didn't have to say anything at all about it.
Yeah, because when asked if Suge knew him, he said, no, those are Reggie Wright's guys. And Reggie Wright had said, I don't know those guys. So, I mean, that's a snitch. That I'm not laying out the snitch card on Suge, but I mean, when you are giving away, when someone asks you a question and your response is to bring up another man's name and his association with people, that, my friends, is the textbook definition of a snitch, and you don't need a white guy from outside Chicago to tell you that.
That's true. That's a very interesting topic. Husselhoff keeps talking about the New York rape setups by Haitian drug gangs. I know about it, as much about that as I know about the gross national product of Nepal. So yeah, it might be interesting. I'll take a look at it. When we talk next week, I'll give you my New York rape setup by Haitian drug gangs update. We'll see where that goes. So why do I have to do Daz so dirty? Wait a minute, I don't know. Daz is running around calling me Uncle Fester. So turnabout's fair play. We can do that. Nobody's above it. And besides, he's just giving shit about me, and I'm just giving shit about him. It's all in good fun. It's not meant to be personal. Please.
And I just, I'm not saying anything about Daz other than he's ducking me. I mean, he's ducking me pretty hard, and I know you watch my videos, Daz. I mean, check out your Instagram. Even people want you on here. But the thing is it's easy to be the armchair quarterback. It's easy.
I like Daz. I got nothing at all. I like his music. I enjoy him and all like that. But don't fucking call me Uncle Fester and then not expect to get it back.
But it's easy to call the shots from the side. If you want to come in and do some crossfire, I mean, I'm ready for it. I'll give you the platform. I won't edit you down. But you know what? I mean, you're going to face some real questions. As much as I love 313, I felt that you did the interview because it's a friendly spot for you. This is a friendly spot for you, but tough questions will be asked. And I commend Rel at 313 for that interview. But I want to ask you some tough questions, Daz. I mean, if you're scared, you're scared.
Realize asks, RJ, is the George Torres case connected to Reggie's drug running? No, but they did. If you look at the interview that they did with Keith Davis, the case title was Jerry Hawkins. And it's the Hawkins family. Yes, the relation is to Tammy Hawkins, a.k.a. Teresa Swan. And by the way, we need to bring that up again, too, because Katie mentioned it in that AG interview. He mentioned Tammy Hawkins, Teresa Swan, that Tammy Hawkins alias was in his book. You got to realize something. The reason that Suge Knight and Reggie Wright had a falling out was because Reggie was banging Tammy Hawkins. Reggie was living and renting an apartment with Tammy Hawkins. I've got the eviction paperwork. Again, show the docs, where they were both evicted. They couldn't pay the rent, and they both got thrown out on their ass. They got evicted. So, Reggie Wright and Tammy Hawkins.
So it is confirmed that Reggie Wright and Greg Kading's main witness against Suge Knight were dating.
Well, yeah, they rented an apartment together. They both got evicted together. Okay, what do you think? Reggie just bought her an apartment out of the goodness of his heart? Please. I kind of doubt that. And, that had been the rumor for a long time. But again, when you got the court documents where they're both being sued by the landlord, both being thrown out, and he's winning an eviction judgment against them, I guess that kind of says it all, doesn't it?
RJ, California girls have high morals, and I think you should apologize for that statement.
I from the bottom of my black heart, I sincerely apologize to anybody that might have been living with somebody else's baby mama while they were in prison. And my heart goes out to them. I feel very bad for their predicament. And I especially feel bad for all the people that don't pay their rent and get evicted, because that's a bad thing.
I'm just playing, RJ. We're hard on thoughts on this channel, just so everybody knows. We're hard on them over here.
On who?
Thoughts. That hoe over there. Thoughts.
Oh, yeah. Thoughts. Absolutely. Yeah, we are. Always. All right. So moving back along. Did Kading kill Big Frank? No, Kading did not kill Big Frank. Okay. And Kading was not. Oh, and by the way, Kading did mention something in there that, we'll just kind of talk about for a second. But this whole thing about Kading being in Las Vegas at the MGM and being seen on the MGM tape, Kading actually finally took the time to call bullshit on that one. And, we'll just kind of leave it at that, because that's probably the only truthful thing he said. RJ, who's Jerry Hawkins? Jerry Hawkins is a big drug dealer in South Central, an alleged drug dealer in South Central. Let me rephrase that. In the Hawkins family, and the DEA was doing an investigation on Jerry Hawkins, and they brought Keith Davis in because Keith Davis might have had information about Jerry Hawkins. I can tell you that Jerry Hawkins had nothing to do with the Biggie and the Tupac case. So why would they be talking to Keith Davis under the caption of the Jerry Hawkins case? You've got that Greg Kading document. You know, it's one of the few he put up there. But yeah, that's who Keith Davis was probably doing business with.